to the Christmas RARC meeting this year. What I'd like, so I appreciate you showing up. I'm really excited to talk about what we're going to be doing this year, the programs that we've got lined up, the opportunities to participate in a bunch of activities, where the club is involved in things, and so I just think it's going to be a really exciting and fun year. I hope you all find it will as well. I'm very open to feedback and content, so something I've heard from some of you already who are quite willing to share unsolicited comments. You can take those as well. But if there's something here that, hey, could we switch something around, could we do something else, let me know and we'll figure out how to work it in. So anyway, welcome. We'll start up. We didn't bring we got a flag in the corner. So if we could get Mr.
behind it, thing, right?
All right, Mr. Flippin, you when I do this,
There we go.
would you do some Pledge of Allegiance, please?
All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Okay, I don't know, I didn't see Alan around, so I don't know about the 50-50 raffle. So anybody catch up with Alan about that? Nope. All right, so that means we won't have a number 14 50-50 raffle drawing at the end, so you're already one ahead. We do need somebody to backfill for Alan, so just think about that. Introductions of officers, members and guests, please sign the book in the back. So we've got Malin over here, who's doing secretarial duties, and well, Richard, who's he's counting money and membership things and all that. Any other officers? Tom Flippin, director. Who else do we have? Stand up, please. There we go. All right, Ken, we got here. And anybody else? Nope. Oh, yeah. Oh, our past president, David. All right. Let's see. The minutes for the last club meeting were disseminated already. We're looking for anybody for corrections, and if not, then a motion to accept is written. All right, so we're going to say the ayes for accepting as written and the nays if you oppose. So how would we vote? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries unanimously. So with that, we'll go to the Treasurer's report.
Okay. Well, the meeting last month was November. We didn't have a meeting in session. So we started the month of November with $8,115.33 in the checking account. And we spent money, we took in during November $625 and, in October we took in, to be reported at the November meeting, we took in $725. So we finished up the month after we paid our bills. We paid in October we paid $45.14, and in November we paid $1,086.49. The larger amounts was covered by the banquet, cost of the banquet, and the rental on the hall, and so we now have, as of December the 1st, have $7,653.84 in the checking account.
Okay. Any questions for Richard?
And I have two copies up here. One of them I'm going to give to our illustrious president. The treasurer, the secretary has one for the records, and I have one up here. Anybody can look at it if they want to see it.
And you can get this to me electronically?
I can send it to you electronically.
That'd be great.
Now, I also have some applications here for some people that.
All right, so we're almost there. Before we get there, any questions for Richard? Again, treasurer's reports. If you guys are interested, happy to share. Right. So all this information that we've got, part of our community stuff. We want to be transparent with everything we do. So if you're interested in where the money's going, happy to share it with you. Okay?
And that's why the report is here, because it lists item by item what came in and where it came from and where it went, item by check number.
That's right. So
everybody is there.
All right, so we've got that. So at this point, do we have any new members, anybody visiting? All right, a couple. Your name, sir?
John Moore.
Hi, John. Nice to meet you and welcome. And do you have a call or are you just new?
KV4THI.
All right, welcome. And you?
My name is Tim Roebuck, K4ASK. I recently moved to the Richmond area about 6 months ago, so found you guys hosted one of the only D-Star repeaters around. So
There you go. All right. Well, welcome.
thank you.
My name is Michael Camoli. My call sign is KM4 WSA. And heard about the club on the radio and through my buddy, 2 meters. So,
Nice. Well,
yeah,
welcome.
good way to learn.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Happy to have you here. And we hope you enjoy it and want to come back. So, new member application.
All right. Well, I have one from Tim Roebuck over there. And Tim, you still technician?
Yes.
Okay. Tim is technician and call K4ASK. I have, as you just heard from Michael Caroli, KM4WAS, and he's a tech also.
WSA, you said.
Actually, WSA.
Okay.
I get tangled up.
Sorry, making sure.
I get my tongue would wrap around my eye tooth and I can't see what I'm saying.
There you go.
All right, I have one from Jay Lowe. He's a technician, KK4JNQ, and I think I got this one from him at the banquet the other night. And then I have one from Theodore Jensen, KM4WSD, and he's general. All right, I don't have any stars, but still he's general. So, what is the pleasure of the body for these 4 gentlemen?
We admit them as members.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. You're now part of the club.
There we go. Fantastic. Welcome. All right. Any new license or upgrades? Anybody? Yes.
K5HTC, not the extra. Thank you for.
Woo! There you go.
Yay.
Anybody else? Anybody working on it? Nobody's working on an upgrade. Nobody. Everybody's an extra. That's awesome. It's hard to believe, but you know.
What do you feel about I read the general and the extra book again?
There you go.
Even though I am extra, I read them again.
All right, well, there you go. Keep reading them. That's maybe you'll sink in, buddy. You never know. All right. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get Richard there.
All right. Okay, so opportunity for show and tell. So I know I had one member talk about something they'd like to bring up and discuss. So this is something that I'm adding in. If you guys have got something that you've been working on at home or you've got an interesting project, it's a couple of minutes just to, 1 or 2 minutes, talk about what you got. And if you want to, show it around or pass it around, if you'd like to discuss it, you've got a few minutes to do that. And then after the club meeting, you can take all the time you want when the rest of us leave, right? So, go ahead.
Okay. I love building kits. I like it also when they come pretty much partially assembled. This is a $45, 40 meter single side van kit. Pretty much all comes together. You put the control knobs in and power plugs and all of those things, and Armin's got one of these also, and he was telling me that there's a few resistors that you got to change in it that modifies it slightly. I was surprised at how well this works. Great single side van. Great CW. And unfortunately, you can't send CW on it. It uses a relay, from receive to send, so I don't think the relay, well, for me it might, about 3 words a minute, I could probably, utilize it. Anyway, this is one of the new things, and Armin's the one that kind of found it first of all, but there's a whole bunch of other kits, and we talked yesterday morning, I guess Thursday, during coffee, about people that are interested in building stuff. Now, I can't do the surface mount stuff, I haven't really tried it. To me, it looks like ants or whatever. But there's a lot of other things, that the kits that are available that come out. A little QRP rig, one water, runs off a 7-volt battery. I've got one here that I built a while back. This also dovetails into Makers Fest. And I'm finding that there's a lot of interest. One of the things that I'd like to do is get people together. I've got some room in my garage, it's heated, I've got parts. Since Radio Shack went out of business, I can't afford to buy a 75-cent device from DigiKey or someplace and spend $3.95 in shipping. So instead, I buy a Chinese pack of 100 resistors or something like that for $3, and so I need one and got 99 left over. So there's an opportunity there to also share some of the components that other people need. Anyway, this is in the early stages of organization. We're just talking about it. If you are interested and want to get together, contact me or Armin or any of the guys in the club, or Bruce or Malin or somebody. We're all kind of figuring out how to work this. Eventually, I think if we get enough knowledge and enough ideas that it may be possible to actually offer a course in it, I think it would be great fun. I would love to do that. It's just that I'm not smart enough yet. With the help of the rest of you, I may get that way. Thank you very much. I'll have this stuff up later on. Y'all want to come look at it, play with it.
All right, thank you. Anything announcement on the school? Certainly. I think.
Is it on the list?
Well, we haven't gotten to new business yet, but.
No, I'll wait till we get there.
Okay, so show and tell. Anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up? All right, so start thinking about it. Christmas is coming up. After Christmas, maybe you'll get something. Who knows, right? Maybe you won't, but I hope you do. And in January you can bring it up, and we could spend the whole hour, and y'all be insanely bored by the end. But everybody can show off what they got. So
Teach me how to run my new receiver, huh?
yeah, I don't know about that. So that teaching stuff is a trick. That's Bruce's job. He's a good teacher. All right, tech committee report. Well, so that'll be real quick since the tech committee hasn't really gotten together to do very much. The D-Star repeater, the gateway stuff from the state they're changing the firewalls out, so you're hearing the thing not being able to connect. But that's not a D-Star problem. It's just they took the network away while they upgraded over the weekend. So that stuff happens every so often. We are getting together. One of the things we'll talk about is the tech committee is going to have a couple things to go after. Inventory management, trying to figure out what assets we've got, what works, what doesn't work, right? So that's going to be a real important part. We're going to want to stand up a remote ham station so that all members of the club can operate remotely. And then we've got, just operating the D-Star equipment. Anyway, we'll get to that through the presentation part of what I want to share. We do have the PIO, so we now have a public information officer, somebody to help us spread the word. So number one, I want everybody here to be spreading the word. That's the first thing. So we're trying to do a lot more outreach. That outreach means you need to talk to people. You need to tell them the activities that's going on. Share the newsletter. Share the website link. Okay? Tell them, hey, you know what? In January, we're going to be having a solar presentation. They're going to come in, talk about how to do stuff off of the grid, what kind of things you need with solar panels. KJ4 SSX is somebody, in the area. He's on the 6-meter things in the morning. He's had these people come out and do some work at his house. So, again, we're going to make sure to get that information out. The next month's information I will be presenting tonight, so you know what to expect next month. Then you can talk about it. You can tell people and say, hey, put it on your calendar. Come Friday night and learn a little bit about what solar stuff is. And in February, I believe we're going to have DXing with some world-class DXers talk about how to get prepared for DX competitions that start up in March, right? So there's a method to something of the madness. Anyway, Dan is here to help coordinate some of that activity. We've got, it's just the beginning. So I just wanted to announce him participating in that role. Old business, I don't know that we have any, but I'll ask if there is any old business outstanding that people had that just has not been addressed. No? All right, new business, Bruce.
Class registration 28th of February, so if you or someone you know wants to come to class, I'll check it out. It's on the website now. We have all the classes pretty well set up. Are you getting together with Sweeney on teaching electronics for hands, did you call it?
I have not yet, no.
Okay. Well, electronics for hands, Randy needs a sidekick to help him with it. And if he can get a sidekick, he'll do it. He's part of a startup company, so he's got to be able to take off on town. But we got general extra tech being taught. We have D-Star being taught. We have kind of modeling being taught. Hopefully, huh? Are we going to CW? Yes. CW. We might have electronics for hands. Randy can find a sidekick. And right now the HF part is unknown. But we're going to have a bunch of classes going. So remember to have people check it out. Are you going to mention the calendar later?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, also I know in my class, which was extra, we had 7 students and 5 pass. One of our better pass rates. So pleased with that. So.
Registration dates.
28th of February.
Tuesday.
Right. The day before the 30th of February.
Let's give it the 29th this year.
Yeah, let's get from that.
All right, Tom.
In line with what Jim had said earlier, we're in the process of putting together a on-paper inventory of club property. So if anybody has anything that we don't know about, that's in your possession, get in touch with me, get in touch with Richard, get in touch with Jim. We want this on the books. If you've got a meter, I don't know, something that belongs to this club, we want to keep track of it. So let us know.
All right, anybody else? No? Okay, so I wanted to jump into kind of the thing I've really been looking forward to most of this week. Well, actually this month. So kind of vision and the proposals of things that are important to us, right? So I always believe it's important to understand what our purpose is. So some people might think it's, hey, we just get together once a month and we chit chat. Or some people think we teach at school. You know what? We actually have a purpose. We have a mission. You know, and that is following this, right? What do we like to do? We like to play with amateur radio. The focus of this club is amateur radio. Okay? So the topics and things that I want to bring up are related to that. So when you take a look at the agenda that I put together, the focus tends to be, I get lots of suggestions on, hey, there's a charity, or there's a community service thing, or and I'm like, you know what? Those are all great things, and I'm happy that somebody's interested in them, but they're not related to amateur radio, and I'm going to take a pass, right? So that could be a little cold and say no, but fortunately I have this little tiny heart that's made of stone, and nothing really gets into it. So. All right, so again, I don't read the bullets. This presentation will be put on the RARC website. You can take a look at it. If you can't figure it out there, I'll send you a copy. It's easy to get to. The point being, you know, we want you to get involved, right? We want you to play with the radio. Don't just listen to it. I mean, you can do that without a license, right? You all went through the effort to get a license to actually transmit something. Let's try transmitting, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing with it, but do something that transmits. So that's the fun part, you know? You can always listen. So, I'm going to start with some of the activities in progress here. So Frostfest, that's cranked up beginning of February. We've got George in the back. We need people to sign up to sit at the table. I don't know what the hours look like. I mean, we put together a general one, but George has got a sign-up sheet, and please help him fill it out. Tom Flippin, I've asked Tom to step in as it's called the President's Director, which kind of sounds pretty snooty. And I figured, I prefer lackey, but that didn't seem to.
Lackey.
A lackey or a flunky, you know, hoi polloi, whatever, but the charter said president's director, so, well, there you go. Thank you, Tom, for serving. The tech committee has been formed, and again, I alluded to that quickly. Tom Flickman is the chairman of it. We're going to have we've got a facility here to store equipment. Tom has keys to the building. Makes a lot of sense for Tom to be part of that. Wynn will continue to represent D-Star interests, and then we're going to figure out what we need to do to run a remote station. By the way, if there's questions about any of the things that I'm spinning through right now, raise your hand. Happy to talk about them later. If you want one-on-one and you're too embarrassed to raise your hand in here, then happy to talk to you later. Right? You can always shoot me an email. Happy to do that too. So we're looking for volunteers, inventory manager, somebody who wants to take care of the check-in, the check-out process. We're going to need some remote administrators. Now this is more like IT kind of people. So, hey, can you log into a system? Can you see if there's any updates? Can you approve people that are requesting access to sites? So this is the beginning stages. It's not like there's this big thick book of procedures that you're going to have to abide by. We are looking for people to volunteer to help in those areas. Let's talk a little bit about the inventory. I'll talk about Dan. So talked about Dan a few moments ago. These are the core tenets of what Dan is responsible for with the club. So you can take a few moments and just scan through those. I do want to talk about the inventory. I think I skimmed past that a little bit. So one of the things, you see this, we recognize this? Anybody? Right? Classic piece of test equipment, right? And, a nice leather carrying case. This was donated by Dave and Sissy Meyer, and we appreciate that. It's going to the inventory for the club. One of the things that we would like to do is have a set of equipment that will allow people to borrow things like a soldering station or an SWR meter, so when you put up an antenna, perhaps you don't have the money to buy all this equipment. The club has places to store it. We're going to go through, when Tom was saying, if you've got equipment, whatever you have, we're going to get rid of the junk, right? So, again, I'm somewhat cold and ruthless when it comes to this, but the 1948 model with tubes and something that if you kick it 3 times right and jiggle the plug, it'll come on. I don't want that, right? I want something that you flip the switch and it works. So if we have to get rid of some equipment, we're going to get rid of the equipment. So I don't know how we're going to get rid of it yet. Maybe we just offer it up to the club members at the highest price or whatever they want to pay for it. Nobody wants to buy it, then we either throw it away or anyway. The point is I want inventory equipment that works for people. So when you want to go put up that new antenna and sweep it, you're going to turn the switch on, maybe check the batteries, but it's going to work, right? So, take donations that work and that you have a clean conscience about donating to the club, saying, hey, it works if you kind of hold it right, kind of doesn't work. Think about a new tech. A new tech isn't going to know whether it works or not, right? They're lucky that they even have the piece of equipment in their hand. So let's help them out and give them something that we at least trust, okay? So what I want to do is publish our inventory list. By the way, that's on, that will be a link to the website as well. So the online inventory, who actually has the stuff, when they checked it out, all of that stuff will be posted on the website. So you should be able to take a look at all of the inventory assets that we've got, whether it's coax or power supply, some kind of HF rig, whatever. The stuff is there for us to check out. People don't even know it because we don't even know what we have. All right? So let me segue back to the public information officer. Anybody have any questions so far? All right. One of the things we did agree to do is sponsor the Virginia QSO party for 2017. I think it was like $60 or something. But, so we agreed to that in the first board meeting. I think it's a fine thing to do. Our name will go on a plaque, and I'm not sure what is it, novice?
No, it's a rookie and novice plaque. That same one we've had for the last several years. It seems to draw good participation with it.
Yeah, it does. It does. A new program that we are sponsoring, and I will pass this around, is so Alan has received 20 of those little radios, and those radios are dual band HTs that when Bruce gets a whole bunch of texts or Alan is testing us, when those new entrants into the hobby pass their tech exam and they join RARC, they're going to get one of those things for free. So Alan has agreed to program the radio and get some base, some basic programming into it. The radios are fairly inexpensive. We've agreed that, no matter what happens, they won't exceed $30 per radio. To join the club cost $20. That radio was $22 with free shipping from Amazon. So Alan has 20 of them in his possession, and he will be taking them to his testing sessions, and whenever new techs join up, he'll program it for it, and he'll start with that. Okay? Any questions about that? People who just passed the tech and no jealousy yet? All right. If you're super
Yeah,
jealous.
I want the programming he's going to put in them.
Well, there you go.
When I passed my test, right,
Yep.
in May, that was my first, okay, so I did the exact same thing. And 4 of those for $100. That was the deal that Amazon was having at the time. So I have 3 spares that I can give you.
We'll take it, brother.
Huh?
We'll take it.
That we can add to the pile. But my biggest thing was, okay, so what do I put in this thing?
That's right.
Which frequencies are used in Richmond? I mean, which one's important to have and which one's not important to have?
So
I will put the chirp Richmond logo on the website.
That'd be great.
That's fine. So just coordinate that with Alan.
Okay.
So Alan has got a copy of the programming software, and again, I would encourage everybody to learn to program it from the front panel. I'm just going to tell you that, right? So I'm done telling you that. Now I know you're going to go buy the software, and I know you're going to go buy your cable. But it's really nice to be able to look at this thing and go, you know what? I want to put something in, and you just type it in. All right, I'm not going to say any more about that. That's my one guilt trip. Okay. I'm going to be serious about this. This is our club. Okay, this is not the club, and you happen to be sitting in the club and attending the club meeting. This is our club. So our club means that we do stuff. So what I would like is for all of us to participate in some activity that this club sponsors next year. Okay? I would really like to have 100% participation. I would like everybody in the club to do something that's related to an RARC activity. It can be bring the cookies, it can be get on an RARC 6-meter net or the 10-meter net or the whatever net. It can be helping set up a program, it can be anything. Show up to field day, say hi to people. Okay? The point is, get active, do something, okay? And what I'd really like is, I'm going to put a load on our secretary here, just have a checkbox on whatever sign-up sheet that says I did something, and you check the box, and guess what? That's good for the whole year, right? One thing per person is all I'm asking for. Is that too much? Am I expecting too much?
No.
Anybody think I'm being a real crazy person here?
All right, man, can I throw something in on that?
Okay, so now he's going to call me crazy.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead,
not.
Go ahead, Richard.
All I want to do is say that.
Do I have the eyes?
I'm trying to get everything up to date on. I've got the roster of people that have paid up through the current through for 2017, except for the ones that have paid tonight, and I love them in. But I'm gonna give you all until we finish the January meeting. After the January meeting, anybody that hadn't paid, I'm gonna generate the roster and get it out email, and Armin will snail mail it out to the ones that get snail mail, and that will be the current roster. And if your name is on it, that means you paid up for 2017, and anybody that pays after that will be on a later edition of it. But that's how we'll keep track of it, is with the current roster. I'm gonna try to get one out by the end of January. It's no problem for me to do it. It's all right there. I've just got to make sure, give you all a chance to pay, and then we'll get it out.
Okay, all right. Any other questions, thoughts? Is this encouraging? Is it making you feel guilty yet? Any guilt? Come on, I'm hoping for a little guilt. All right.
The walls on steel toe shoes in there.
Yeah, well, okay. So, this would be my one, kicking thing here. So, social stuff, right? I don't know how many of you all are into the social thing. I'm not, kind of. But we do have a Twitter feed. So, if you join it, you're going to get notified of the events that are going on. Okay? Not a ton, but guess what? They show up. A YouTube channel. This is being recorded. So, my good friend Ralph Fetty can't make it. W4FEG. He's at home, right? My good friend Julian can't make it. He's hurt his back. He wanted to be here. This is going to go up on our club YouTube channel, hopefully tonight. I'm going to upload it, and guess what? We're going to record all of our programs, right? I mean, it's not that hard, and it will help our members who can't make it in person see what the programs are. Online club inventory, right? You're going to be able to see it online, right? I've already discussed what we're going to do with the inventory, but you're going to see it online. And then we have an online club calendar of events. Now, the calendar of events, I'm just going to jump over to what it shows up like on the site right here. I know it's not a very good resolution.
I couldn't get rid of that insert there either.
No, that's
me
just a
too.
basic change. You have to go over and press the calendar.
And the calendar is events calendar and RARC. Sorry, guys. Anyway, go there when you want to. It's a Google Calendar. You can actually link it to whatever, if you've got Google stuff or you've got an iPhone calendar or an Android calendar, you can link into it. I have every activity that goes on in Richmond. This isn't just RARC stuff, okay? So when you see the Tri-Cities Net, or there's the Packet Net, or there's the ARCA, or the Aries, or there's the RATS meeting, I don't care what it is. I want to get it on the calendar so we've got one place to go where you know everything that's going on. So, all the classes that Bruce has got, they're up here. All of the pre-registration for things, they're up here. The D-Start class that Wynn's going to teach is up here. Everything that's going on in this club is going to be on this calendar. Okay? And not just this club, anything that I hear about around town. So if you've got some activity, the March of Dimes walk, or the, whatever event, the train thing that goes on, whatever those are, get them to me early, and we will populate the calendar and we keep it up to date. All right? Yes?
For new people like myself, I've only been here for a couple, 3 years, but I don't know all the things that go on in Richmond. So this is a very, very valuable tool to be able to see things like, oh, I didn't know that you had a packet net or something,
Right, well, exactly, right? I'm not trying to steal anybody else's thunder, right? If somebody wanted to put this together, more power to them. But because we are our club and we've got a lot of activities that go on regardless, I want us to have one, and we're going to keep it up to date, right? So having calendars that are out of date are worthless. So this thing will be up to date, at least during 2017, all right? So let me get back to, I'm almost done, guys, I promise. RARC programs for the winter, okay? So you've got the PEG solar people coming in next month. Unfortunately, I won't be here next month, I'll be out of town, but George will be here, and I've been working with the PEG solar people to make sure that they understand the program. George will have the outline, and we'll be good to go. All right, so anybody recognize the names for these DX people? Yeah, right? I mean, like, good like world-class DXers. And then we've got Packet showing up in March. So we're going to start having some diverse programs here. Here's the tentative. Here's what I've got. So italics is unconfirmed. And you can take a look at what we've got planned for this year. So right now, the alternative topics here, the remote HF, the HF ops with the RARC station. That's probably going to substitute for one of those summer, spring months. I'm not really sure right now which of those it'll be. But take a look at the stuff we've got going on, right? I mean, so yeah, we got some solar stuff, I think, off the grid. I think that's kind of fun, right? DX contesting. I'm not a DXer, but I respect what those guys do. I'd love to hear their stories about what they go after. Packet, again, I know it's somewhat old school, people have said packet, what's that like from the 80s? I'm like, yeah, but I've never done it. So, you know, I like 6 meters. You hear this just right, the things that I tend to like have shown up in the front, because, well, I had to call people and line them up, so guess what? I call the things I like to do, right? So I've got some stuff in here. Take a look, field day ops in May, right? So think about when we've got field day, following month, right? So field day is the next month. I'm trying to figure out how to align these programs, you know, weak signal, VHF weak signal stuff. So, you know, there is more than FM on 2 meters. There's more than repeaters, right? So the point being, hey, by the way, the next month, there's actually VHF contest. So if you wanted to get in your car and drive up to Afton Mountain and sit out with a couple cheap beams and point them towards the northeast, you probably make some contacts, right? But let's talk about it. And so then we've got some, you know, some other things. What do you do with the frequency counter? And, you know, how about those people that really like time, you know, and what can you do with the GPS lock stuff that you can get off of eBay really cheap? So public service and MCOM, you know, that's part of what we do, right? So we've got some people coming in. Hey, basic solder station and tools and start kit building. Oh man, you like my hair? No bowl. Man, I proofread. Sorry guys, I'm disappointed already. Then we're up to the annual banquet and Christmas party, at which time you're going to have somebody else standing up here giving you lectures on what they're going to do. So, kind of, I hope. All right, so like I said, alternative topics. You know, some people were interested in the, you know, the GMSK or the D-Star, different types of modems that you can build. You know, small Raspberry Pis you can connect digital stuff in. And then, you know, it's not quite IT, so I kind of bumped it down, but, you know, password protection and encryption. You know, I'm kind of a big fan of that stuff. I live and breathe computers, and you know, it's not amateur radio, so it's an alternative topic, and it's just one of those things that may be useful.
Most of us have computers and deal with them in the radio, and we got to protect them.
And right, so again, it was. You take a look at the stuff that we got up there, and so when I start shifting stuff around, I'm like, well, I'd like to talk about it. Man, I really like those other things more, which is, you know, hey, you run out of time. That's a good thing, right? So, any questions, thoughts, concerns? Anybody publicly wants to share? All right, privately, you can always send me an email.
I've got a question. Last night and tonight at about 7 o'clock, the International Space Station was transmitting slow scan television. I was trying to get some stuff together to do that. Couldn't figure it out. Anybody do that last night? Were they able to pick up slow scan from the International Space Station? Kind of like say, some things are kind of old school.
Right.
But I never did that. It just sounds kind of neat. I'd probably do it once.
Right, that's right.
But
I gotcha.
nothing else to say. I
If you
did.
want to fool around with that, I think the NOAA satellites use similar slow scan things to beam down
Yeah.
the weather images.
Yeah, 136.
If you don't want to wait till exactly when the
Yeah,
ISS goes over us.
I just thought it was neat.
I heard the ISS, the American radio was down. They're using the Russian one now, possibly?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Russian one bleeds into all the other frequencies.
All right, so we're about done. Pain health, right? So hey, if you've got any pictures, any videos, again, I'd like to start collecting any of that kind of stuff. So it's been mishmash, pieces and parts of pictures. Some people have things. If you got them, I would love to get them from you. I'd love to put them up on our website and store them. And if you got videos, I'd take those too. What's that?
Marshall might have a lot of that.
Gotcha. Just put the word out, right, to whomever. And I'm happy to take it, you know, sort through it and get it organized. Again, looking, someone to record the RARC meetings, so Tom Flippin has volunteered to do it tonight. You know, I will bring a camera, or we'll make a camera and a tripod available. Generally, we just need somebody to sit there and make sure the thing doesn't fall over, right? And occasionally twist it around at the people who are speaking. So somebody that would, you know, volunteer to do that. Again, not for eternity, for 2017, right? All these volunteer things that I'm asking for have a duration. So you can say, I've only got 10 more times to go, And now I've got 9 more times to go. Now 2 more to go, right? So it's not till the end of, it's not till you can't move anymore. And then finally, somebody to own the 50-50 raffle. So, yes. All right, we got volunteers. I love it. So which are you volunteering for? All of them? That's awesome. 50-50 raffle?
Yeah, go around.
Fantastic.
Make everybody join.
All right, so just get in. Yeah, that's right. That's what you need, a little guilt. That's perfect. Perfect. All right.
That's right.
So just catch up with Alan, figure out what that needs to work like. I'll make sure I'll tell Alan to get in touch with you and we'll work that on. All right, any questions or any thoughts? Is this exciting?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes? You looking forward to like the next quarter? The activities that are going on? I mean, I am. I hope you guys are. I mean, of course I picked the stuff, so I hope I'm excited. But put the word out. I mean, I would be willing to bet there are people around town that would like to know about solar, and they would like to know about Packet. I mean, at least do it once, right? Yes?
I have an idea about the antiquated equipment that is wanting to be sold. Maybe put it on QRC for someone that collects antique.
Absolutely. So again,
Turn that into revenue.
we will figure out, the priority will be, can we get some money for it? Right? If we can't get any money for it, then it's going to be who wants it, and then if nobody wants it, it goes in the old recycle bin in the back of the house called the trash can. Yes.
Maybe we could set it up at our club table on the Cross Festival in February.
I would love for our tech committee to get organized enough with our inventory to make that statement. I think that would be fantastic. Again, volunteer organization. I realize people have time commitments in plenty of other places, so I don't necessarily want to put the pressure on for that, but that's an excellent idea. So if George is pressuring the tech committee to get it done, I fully support that. So, you know.
We've got a couple of months to get it together. I mean,
I got you. It's doable, George. I love you, Vice President. Keep speaking, brother.
If we could real quick. We do have a table reserved. We've got a prime spot. When you first walk into the room, immediately to your right, we're right next to the rats and ARRL. So when you first walk in, you look to your right, there we are. So we're very visible. I know in past times we've been over on the left, and we're right there near Quicksilver. We're over there in a hot section next to some vendors that people are really excited about going to, really quickly knocking each other down to get to that one thing they went to process for, and we're going right in front of them. So,
All right, so let's help George out with the sign-up sheet. And with that, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And all right, and the vote is? Aye. All right, thank you all. I appreciate it. Have fun with it.